The morning bell rang at Alder Creek High, cutting through the stillness of the empty hallways. Ms. Eloise Harrington sat at her desk, rifling through a stack of papers, her fingers brushing against the worn wood that had once felt warm and inviting. Outside, a gust of wind rattled the trees, causing the curtains to billow like pale ghosts against the classroom windows. When her students finally entered, one stood out, Oliver Graves. The boy was unassuming, with tousled dark hair and a gaze that seemed to hold secrets too heavy for his young frame. She had always found his writing compelling, but lately it had taken a turn that left her bewildered. As the days passed, his essays started to bloom with strange anecdotes and elusive references, stories about events that never happened and feelings he could not possibly comprehend. Eloise couldn't shake the unease building within her. Each time she read his work, her heart raced with a thrum of foreboding. In his latest piece, he described a vivid dream of the old Alder Creek Chapel burning down, a place that had been abandoned since the early 70s. There was no way he could know such details about the soot-stained rafters and the twisted ironwork that decorated its crumbling facade. Goosebumps crept along her arms. During lunch, she cornered him in the cafeteria, her mind racing with troubling thoughts. "Oliver, how did you know about the chapel?" she asked, her voice steady but her insides churning. His smile was faint, almost sad, and when he met her gaze, she felt a chill wrap around her throat as his eyes darkened with an intensity she never witnessed before. "I just know," he replied simply, as if that excuse held the weight of profound truth. The moment hung heavy between them, like the distant memory of smoke curling in the air. Days turned into weeks, and his writing continued to deluge her with heavy, impossible truths. Stories of places lost in time, whispers of lives intertwined with tragedy. Each word clawed at her reason, shattering her understanding of reality. Mr. Menon, the philosophy teacher, had informed her of Oliver's family lineage, an old bloodline rumored to have been cursed by a tragic betrayal generations ago. A subtle chill slithered up her spine as the classroom felt increasingly cold, even as the autumn sun blazed outside. During study hour, she noticed a small sketch tucked into an otherwise blank sheet of paper on Oliver's desk. A crude drawing of the chapel aflame, blackened figures dancing in the inferno, their faces contorted in agony. She confronted him again, her voice barely a whisper. "What are you trying to tell me, Oliver?" As he opened his mouth, the air shifted sharply, as if the room had taken a breath of its own. The curtains flapped wildly, an unseen force pulling them, stretching the fabric into ghostly limbs. "It's not me," he murmured, "but the voices." That night, Ms. Harrington dreamt of the chapel, of shadows rooting in its corners, whispering secrets too vile for the living. When she awoke, she knew she had to put this to rest, to confront him one last time and see the truth buried in his dark reflections. On a brisk afternoon, she found Oliver sitting alone at his desk, scribbling furiously. He seemed almost possessed, too far gone in his trance. "Stop it," she cried, her voice breaking through the chaos. He looked up, and the shift was instantaneous. His expression morphed from focus to something almost predatory. Just then the lights flickered, casting ominous shadows across the room. Eloise stood frozen as the temperature around her plunged, icicles gripping her breath. "What have you done?" she asked, horrified at the realization dawning on her. In a chilling resonance, he replied, "It's already done." With that, the gloom twisted around them, and the room morphed into the charred remnants of the chapel, the air thick with acrid smoke. The echoes of dying whispers rose like a cacophony, the figures she saw in her dream, now spectral presences, their faces twisted in eternal agony. And just as abruptly as it had begun, it stopped. Eloise fell to her knees, scanning the room to find Oliver, but he was gone, dissolved into the shadows, leaving her alone amidst ghosts she could not escape. With the echo of the chapel's secrets now imprinted deeply within her mind, she shuddered, slowly accepting the truth she could no longer deny. Oliver Graves had been but a vessel, a harbinger of stories not buried, but ravaged and unleashed. As she staggered back into the light of day, uncertainty gnawed at her heart, whispers of familial curses threading through her thoughts, an empty classroom behind her, vacant and still, filled only with the memory of a boy who had unraveled all she had once believed.